we have three congressmen and congresswomen who will give a speech today. They are on the way, so I will introduce them when they arrive. I would like to introduce Chairman David Chul Lee. Please stand up. Is President of Korean American Public Affairs Committee. Dr. Kwang Choi, former Minister of Health and Welfare of Republic of Korea, and is the President of Kapac, Korea. Mr. Tae-young Kim, former Minister of National Defense of Republic of Korea, is a co-president of Korea Retired Generals and Admirals for Defending the Nation. National Assemblyman Kang Hyo-sang is a member of National Assembly of Republic of Korea. General Seok-bok Lee, Chairman of Steering Committee of Korgat. Mr. James Fisher, Executive Director, Korean War Veterans Memorial Foundation. Dr. Patrick Cronin, Senior Fellow of Hudson Institute. Maybe he hasn't arrived yet. Dr. Jae-pung Ryu, founder of One Korea Foundation. Dr. Dae-sung Song, Chairman of the organizing committee of the conference. He's a former president of the Sejong Institute. Dr. Tae-woo Kim, Vice President of Kapac, Korea. Dr. Tara Oh is she's a board member of ICKS, the back. Mr. Jung Se-kwon is a president of Korea American Freedom League. Mr. Kyung-bok Lee, Canadian President of Korea Institute of Liberal Democracy. Dr. Michael Lee is a leadership in the international intelligence community. We have a special guest who have shown courage to cross the border to seek freedom from the oppression. Mr. Jung-woo Lee, please stand up. Dr. Eran Lee. Mr. Sang-hak Park. Hasn't arrived yet. Miss Ma Young-ae. She hasn't arrived yet. Mr. Greg Scalatu, Executive Director, North Korea Human Rights Committee. have a Mr. Nissim Roden. Mr. Roden hasn't arrived yet.
We have another guest, General Song Ju-han. Would you light up? He's my senior officer for Air Force Academy, and also he's leading a lot of movement in United States for uniting Korean Americans against North Korea. So I'm so proud we can have him. And again, I'm so glad I can introduce my friend and my boss. When I was in Nassau County, he appointed me as a Deputy Commissioner of IT. And he was a very rising star in New York as a county executive, and so I supported him when he learning for New York State Governor. And I really hope and all my effort pushing him up to New York State Governor, but it didn't work out. But I see in someday, somehow, he could be a governor of New York, and eventually what he told at the debating, he wanna be the President of the United States. Now he's a very strong, powerful man in US Congress. His Ways and Means Committee, which means he appoint, like allocating fund to the executive body. So whoever is not, if Tom is not happy with somehow, some way, he didn't give the money, they can do nothing. So I'm so glad Congressman Tom Suozzi, he's my district congressman, is with us. So let's hear from him. Thank you so much, Tom.
Well, thank you, David. 감사합니다. 안녕하세요. I'm very happy to be with all of you today. This is a very exciting day for you to have this conference. I want to congratulate everybody who did work so hard to pull it together. So congratulations. 축하합니다. And I want to know that I represent many Korean Americans in my district. I represent the North Shore of Suffolk County on Long Island, Nassau County, and into northeastern Queens in New York City. So there are many Korean Americans who live in my district. I have wonderful relationships in the Korean American community. It's remarkable how much Korean Americans have accomplished in my district, in New York State, and throughout the United States of America. You look at the income level, you look at the education level, you look at the participation in the communities. It's really remarkable what the Korean Americans have done here in the United States of America. And I visited South Korea, and I put my foot over into North Korea as well for a second, though, as well. But I was there right after someone had just escaped, a soldier had just escaped from North Korea, and the shooting took place at GMT. And it's remarkable what's been accomplished in South Korea over the past few decades. By embracing really Western cultures as far as democracy and capitalism, South Korea has gone from being a state that receives aid from other countries to one that now gives aid to other countries. And the amazing improvement in its economy and the quality of life of its people is remarkable. How many of you have seen the picture from space of the satellite that shows the Korean peninsula, and it shows North Korea completely dark and black, and it shows South Korea lit up because of all the different progress that's been made there? It's just a remarkable accomplishment. And I want you to know that I'm very committed to peace on the Korean Peninsula. I really am. And the leader of South Korea has done such a wonderful job advocating for peace for such a long period of time. And I'm a Democrat, and of course the president's a Republican, but I'll do anything I can to support the president in his efforts to try and help foster peace on the Korean Peninsula. Now, we know how important denuclearization is. We know how important it is that there are so many families that have been divided for such a long period of time, many of them aging out and dying, and they're not going to have a chance to be reunited with their families unless we try and do something. So it's going to take a lot of courage, it's going to take a lot of strength. I think we have to remember what President Reagan said, trust but verify. We can't really trust the North Koreans. We really just can't trust them. That doesn't mean we can't figure out a way to make a deal at some point, but we can't be so enamored with the idea that, oh, we want to make peace, that we'll trust people that we can't trust. We can't trust them. We have to try and work towards that ambition. We have to push for denuclearization. We have to push for peace, but we have to be very careful as we try and do that. I have, as I said, many friends from the Korean American community. I have tremendous respect and admiration for all of you. I'm always trying to learn more about the issues that exist. I got very involved with some of my friends who were it was very important to push the idea of the monument of the comfort women so that people would never forget what happened during World War II in that time period. And at the same time, I'm going to try and do what I can to try and help improve relations between Korea and Japan, recognizing that there's a very long history there that we have to all be educated about and sensitive to. But I think that when I think of Korea, the Republic of Korea, I think it's really a great example for the world. It's really just something we should try and promote in other countries throughout the world, that has seen a country that has been through so much in a relatively short period of time ago and has transformed itself into one of the major economic powerhouses, one of the leading examples of democracy, and one of the leading examples of people that participate in the modern world in the entire world. And so it's my pleasure and honor to be with you here today, and I thank you very much for this opportunity to say hello. 감사합니다.
Would you talk about your opinion about like current situation of U.S.-Korea alliance? Yeah.
U.S.-Korea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable when you think about how much the trade has improved between the United States and Korea since 2012, when we entered into the free trade agreement. And there's been a dramatic improvement on both sides, both the United States and Korea, as far as enhancing the foreign direct investment and increasing trade between the two countries. And I think that the relationship between the United States and Korea is one of the two or three of most important relationships we have in the world today, because of the fact that it has to be a counterbalance to China. We have to be very concerned about what's going on in China these days. China has a goal of being the dominant power in the world, and they have a plan. And we know that they're cheating as far as some of the trade issues go, stealing intellectual property, stealing patents. We know that they treat their own people very poorly. We see what the Chinese are doing with the Uyghurs in the West, what they're doing with the Tibetans in the South, what's happening in Hong Kong right now. And so the relationship between the United States and Korea is so important as far as a counterbalance to China in that part of the world. And we have to watch what they're doing, because they want to dominate economically, militarily, technologically, in the land, in the oceans, in space, and they have a plan, like I said. And so this relationship between the United States and Korea is so important at this time in history, not only because of economic reasons and trade reasons, but because of the danger of North Korea, because of the concerns about China's long-term ambitions, and about the entire region. And that's an easy relationship for us to have. Korea and the United States having a good relationship is easy because we share the same values. We share the same ideas of respect for the individual, for democracy, for the rule of law, for economic modernity, for economic competition that's fair. Sharing those values makes it easy for us to have a strong relationship. And as we navigate the difficult waters of North Korea and the next few years, that I believe that that bond between the United States and Korea will only become stronger. Okay?
Thank you, Tom.
감사합니다. So I have to go to another, I'm going to go see the Irish now. I have to go see the Irish. But I wanted to come by and say hello, and David, thank you so much for inviting me, and all the best to everyone. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. Yeah, yes, of course. I feel better making everybody get out of their chairs. Okay, everybody turn in a little sideways so that we can get in closer. Turn a little sideways. Okay, one, two. Look at me. 1, 2, 3, everybody say Swazi, because Swazi makes you smile. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3, Swazi. 1, 2. One more. This time everybody say Lee. Lee makes you smile. Ready? 1, 2.